Crew, what's good? It's Rubber Captain coming back at you with another video, and today we got another special one for y'all boys, man. Hey, look, I had a question in my Discord. Some of the homies they want to know, Some of the crew want to know. They want a full breakdown of this UP Luffy build that I made, and they also want to know, about some specific matchups such as Rayleigh, just aggro matchups, what to do, what we're looking for. And we're gonna go over all that today in this video. So it's gonna be a little different video. It's gonna be a little more breakdown of the deck list. It's gonna be a little bit more explaining of what we're looking for in our opening hands versus what leader, because it's always different, right? Majority of the time it's different when you're playing a different leader. Your opening hand, what you're looking for is not gonna be the same. I don't know why people say that you're looking for this specific. I mean, you do look for specific cards, but like against certain leaders, usually when you're teching cards for certain leaders, you want to be looking for those cards. So we're gonna go over a full breakdown today, and before we get started, I know it's been a while, crew. I know it's been a while, man. Look, I apologize. It's been 10 days, bro. I think this has been the longest your boy went without making a video, man. But look, my wife had an unexpected schedule change, so as y'all know, she works from home. She works on my computer, so we've been without, crew. I mean, I've been getting gameplay on my laptop for y'all, so I will start bringing y'all those videos soon. But we're just trying to work around this new schedule change, man. It's rough. It's rough. Your boy ain't been feeling the best neither, man. I quit caffeine like 5 days ago. It's been terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's been terrible. But yeah, that's enough rambling on. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who likes the content. I really appreciate y'all. And if this video helps you out, and you have any more questions about UP Luffy, drop a comment down below. Let me know. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the channel members. Everybody who's a member, one of the greatest ways to support the channel. I really appreciate y'all. I know I haven't been giving y'all content like that, but hey, your boy still been sticking with the giveaways every month. So yeah, if you're a member, you get entered in the giveaway every month for a custom leader card. And last video, one of the members won. He finally hit me up, so we gonna get that sent out to him, as soon as possible. So yeah. Um, you know, besides that, let's get into this deck list, and then we're gonna break down every card we're playing, while we're playing it. If something's interchangeable, because I know some people are on a budget, so cards that are more expensive, I can help you out with that as well. So let's get into it, crew. Let's get into it. Sorry, I hit my mic there. Alright, so first off, we got the leader. If you don't know what the leader does, you're new to the game, look, you may activate this effect at the start of your turn if you have 8 or more Don. So you have to have 8 or more Don at the beginning of your turn, not ramping to 8 at the beginning. You have to have 8 or more Don at the beginning of your turn. Look at the top 5 of your cards of your deck, reveal one Straw Hat type crew card, then add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Why this is important. So once you get to 8 Don, you get to look at the top 5 of your deck. You get to search whatever Straw Hat card you see in that top 5, and then you get to stack your deck however you want it, either on the top or bottom. So this is the game plan of this leader. We ramp as fast as we can to 8, and we try to stay alive till we try to stay alive to 8. So that's the goal now. We don't have the Lin anymore to just gain life, so we can't just take life frivolously, right? So we need cards that's gonna help us get to 8 and survive, and also get us to 8. So yeah. So here we go. We're gonna go over the deck list, and then we're gonna tell you why we're playing every card. So here we go. Look at the first off, we got the carrot. So one cost 1K, 1K counter. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Place them on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this is our turn 1 play right here. Also, she has a second effect. On opponent's attack, you may trash this character, give up to one of your leaders 1,000 power during this battle. So not only is she a 1K counter in your hand, not only does she have a great on play effect, but also on your opponent's attack, she's still a 1K counter for your leader. So this card is literally mandatory in my opinion. Like I would not swap this card out for anything. I can't think of a card I would swap this out for. This carrot puts in so much work. It's a turn one play that lets you stack the top three of your deck. So let's just say I'm going up against a specific matchup. I'm like, okay, I really want to see this one card in my opening hand. I got carrot in my hand, but I don't got the card I need. Okay, cool, that's fine. I can play the carrot out, look at the top three. Is the card I need in that top three? If it is, I can stack it to the top of my deck. I'm drawing it next turn. I'm going to have it when I need it. You know, if it's not in the top three or no cards that I need is in the top three, I can put them all to the bottom of the deck and, you know, start digging from the fourth card on in. Very broken card for this leader right now. And if you're not running it, then, you know, I think it's a mistake. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's carrot. Now the Gion, this is an interchangeable card right here. It's basically just a 2K, right? The only reason we're running Gion over, like, you know, a Straw Hat 2K is just because she helps in the rally matchups. She helps in really any matchup where their leader likes to leave Dawn open to use events during your turn when you're swinging. Gion's just going to help give you that extra push. So let's say rally matchup, for instance. Alright, on 4. I don't have ramp, but I got Gion in hand. Okay, cool. What I can do now is play Gion now. Alright. Or even late game, play Gion out if I want to go for game. They got Dawn open. Now if they use an event, they're going to have to bottom deck a card with that event. It's only once per turn, but whenever they activate an event, your opponent places one card from their hand to the bottom of their deck. It's really just more of a troll card, let's just say that. You can easily swap this out for any Straw Hat 2K counter. You can play the Sanjis right here. You can play the Furnosuke's if you want a rusher to help in the rally matchup or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you can play really any 2K counter in the slot. I just got her for that specific reason. So she's not mandatory at all, but the carrot is. Now, moving on. Gion's nothing really special about her. She just can help in the rally matchup potentially. You know, even being a viable swinger into, you know, their board. So next we're playing the puddings. Now we know opponents like to stack their hand up in this meta. We're getting a lot of big hand sizes, a lot of searches going on. That's what the pudding's for. If your opponent has 8, 9 cards in hand and you got a pudding in hand, playing this pudding out is devastating. Right? Even late game when you got a bunch of big bodies on board and let's say you swing and they take, play pudding out, make them, you know, go back down to 5 cards and then start swinging with the rest of your board. Or even if they got a bunch of Dawn open and you know they're threatening a bunch of events, playing pudding out to make them draw a random 5 cards, you know, cutting their chances of drawing an event is just, it's too good, man. It's too good. Pudding's too good. I might eventually go up to 3 of this card, but right now it's at 2. It's fine. We see it a lot with leader effect. You know, we get to see it when we want, pretty much. Moving on. Nami. This is another crucial piece to this deck. It's a 5 cost 6K blocker. On play, if your leader's multicolored, you get to draw 3 cards, place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This card right here, I use it early game, but I like it more late game. Now early game, I use it to set up a Sanji play for the next turn. I use it to get bricks out of my hand if I got too many bricks, put them to the bottom of the deck. I use it in aggro matches if I need, if I don't have like the Brûlée or, you know, some other form of blocker or some other way to get out of aggressive attacks. I use Nami in that scenario as well. You basically want to pick and choose when you use your Nami, but the best time to use Nami is after you establish, you know, your bigs on board. Playing a Nami out, cycling, getting bricks, setting up for your next turn's play, or even just getting rid of bricks out of your hand. You know, in general, you got too many bricks, whatever. Get them up out your hand. Nami's a great card and mandatory in my opinion. So yeah, that's Nami. Moving on. Now we got the Rush Luffy. Now Rush Luffy is a great card. It's a great card. Now it's an 8 cost 8K. He has Rush. When attacking, you may trash one card from your hand. Return one character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. So this returns any card with 4 or less. So you can return your opponent's cards, their Burgesses, the Luffy's in the Rayleigh matchup. You can return your own pudding to re-pudding them again. You can return your 2K Usohachis. You know, you can return your Brulee. Just what I mean, you're not gonna return Brulee, but just saying, just theoretically speaking, you can return anything. Not only does it do that, then you get to give one rested Don card to a leader or a character. So this is the card you're looking for in those Rayleigh matchups, those Blackbeard matchups. Just really any aggro matchups where they go low and fast. You want this card. And what I mean by low and fast is when they're just playing smaller bodies with Rush or just smaller bodies that gives them a bunch of benefits that they're going to attack with, right? So this is the card you're looking for in those matchups. So if you're playing Rayleigh, this is one of the cards you want to see in your opening hand, but we'll go over opening hands, you know, in the next section. So yeah. Now we got Mihawk here. Now Mihawk is you know, our Lin Lin substitute. As you know, Lin Lin's on play. You get to player down, Dom -1, gain a life, and then put one of your opponent's 6 costs or less to life. Okay, cool. We no longer can gain life, right? But we still can remove a character. So being able to play this Mihawk out, you get to place on play, place one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less at the bottom of the deck. So great, we get the bottom deck of 7 or less. They don't get to get it back to their hand. It's going straight to the bottom. So the Hody Jones, the Cavendishes, any annoying card that's on the board that's 7 or less, the Sanji Puddings, even with the stage, Sanji Puddings, bottom of the deck. Like, get it up out of here. And playing this off Sanji just gives you so much tempo and stabilizes your game, you know, very well. So yeah, Mihawk, mandatory right now, just my opinion. Until OP13, mandatory. And I will show you my OP13 list probably after this, to be honest. Sanji, the main man, the myth, the legend of the deck right here. Sanji's 9 cost 9K. On play, reveal the top card of your deck. You may play up to one revealed character with a cost of 9 or less other than Sanji. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So with our leader ability, us being able to stack the top of our deck how we want to, this card just goes crazy, right? So we can play out the Mihawks off this, we can play out the Luffys, we can play out the Namis, we can play out, you know, Puddins, whatever we need, we can play it out with this card. It's great, great card, great card. So yeah, that's enough about Sanji. There's nothing really much to it. We're just cheating bodies out with Sanji. Next, we got a weird one here. We got a 2K counter Usohachi. Yes, it's not the other one, it's the old one. Reason why. Rayleigh matchup. Any matchup where they're playing 4 costs. They're playing 4 costs. And you want to help remove the board. This is a 2K counter that's not just a 2K counter. You can actually play it out. So I'll play this out in the Rayleigh matchup right before my 8 Don turn, like on 6 or 7. Play this card out. You know, swing a bunch here or there, wherever, add to their board. Then the next turn when I'm on 8 or more Don, you could Don ×1 on attack, rest one of your opponent's 4 costs or less. So if they play the Sanjis out, if they play the Sanjis out, the Luffy's out, or even just 4 cost blockers, being able to put one Don on, make him a viable attacker, rest down one of their 4 costs so you can, you know, go into their board. You can swing in the board with him, turn something sideways, swing in the board with your leader, you know. Just a great card that helps in those little low to the ground aggro matchups. This is why we're running this card. Regular Usohachi, same deal. This is just the best 2K counter for purple in my opinion. This does the same deal. On play, if you have 8 or more Don, this one actually rests at 5 costs or less and it's on play. So this one late game you can play out, or just on your 8 Don turn if you don't have a better play and you need to get some shit off the board and play it out, rest it down, get it off the board. The idea is to ramp up, remove your opponent's board if possible, while getting to 8 safely. That way you can start dropping your big safely, right? Because we know Green and all of them got a lot of cards that can rest down Don, so we can't really just rely on the Gum Gum Giant, right? Which is cool. We got ways to play around that. Next, 2 Bond Clays. This card is not mandatory. It's just another 4-cost ramp that they have to deal with, right? But this card is not mandatory. There is another option. If you don't want to spend the money on this card, it is getting reprinted. If you want to wait for this card, you can definitely wait for this card. I should have mentioned that last video. That's my bad, boys. That's my bad. Look, if you're on a budget, you don't want to spend the bread for this card, that's fine. Just replace it with Thunderboggles. You're not getting the 4-cost body, but you're getting 4K in ramp. I mean, you're getting 4K in counter and ramp. So, if you don't know what Thunderboggle does, your leader, it's a counter card. Your leader of one of your characters gains 4,000 power during this battle. Then, if you have 2 or less life cards, add 1 Don from your Don deck and rest it. So, easy replacement right here for the Bond Clay. You could even run another 4-cost ramp if you wanted to. We got the Gene Bart. He's really 5 costs because you have to play him out for 4 and then on play you rest the Don. So he's really 5 costs, but he does set the Don as active, so he will take you from 5 to 6. So, which is not a terrible option. You do got Ain here. She's a brick, but you can play her out. She's a 4-cost 5K body if you want like another viable attacker. You have your lead performer disasters. These are all budget options right here that can replace Bond Clay. You will be going up in bricks, but lead performer disaster is actually a pretty good card because it does replace itself when you use it. So not only are you able to ramp, you're able to draw a card on top of that. So you may draw into something you potentially need. So hey, pick your poison. Pick your poison. But Bond Clay being on the board, being able to copy and attack is pretty good in this meta because there's a lot of big bodies being played out, So yeah, great card. Next we got 4 Brulés. This is the card that we replaced Mr. 2 with in the from the original list. Brulé is a blocker, 4 costs. On KO, added a 1 Don for your Don that is rested. So she's not only is she helping you get out of an attack. Now in the Zoro matchup, they're going to rest her down. They're going to swing into her. But it doesn't matter because we're mainly playing her out for that ramp. But using her as a blocker as well is definitely a benefit in the other matchups. The Rayleigh matchups. Whatever aggro matchup we're playing, Brulé comes in clutch every time. And then having her even as a late game option to cheat out off Sanji Pudding is not a terrible thing either, right? I mean, it's not the best, but it's a blocker at the end of the day, right? That they do have to deal with. So yeah, Brulé, great card. Red Rock, this is like, I need to go up 3 of these too. I'm not gonna cap. Like, yeah, I'm gonna figure out a way to get up 3 of these Red Rocks because Red Rock is our best removal. I think this is one of the best removals in the game, if not the best removal in the game. You place any one character at the bottom of the owner's deck for 6 costs. It even has a trigger. Place one character with a cost of 4 less at the bottom of the owner's deck, which is not as relevant, but being able to play this out for 6 and get rid of any threat on their board is, it's pretty good. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can get rid of Blackbeards with this card. You can get rid of the Shanks. Yeah, I think we need to go up 3 of this card, but the list has been working fine without it. It is searchable off leader effect for sure, so it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing. You don't really want to open it up in your hand unless you really don't want to open it up in your hand. Let's be realistic. Like, if you do, it's not the worst thing because you can use it just to get rid of early game threats, so you can get to 8. But you don't really want to open it up in hand, especially not in like aggro matchups because you don't want to spend 6 Don to get rid of a 3-cost character, right? So yeah, great card though all around. Next, one of the most broken cards in the game, Gum Gum Giant. I should not have to go over this card, but I will go over it anyway. It's a counter, Dom -2. You may trash one card from your hand. If your leader is Straw Hat Crew, which ours is, give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 4,000 power for the battle, then draw 2 cards. Okay. It gives you cycle. With your leader effect, you know what them 2 cards are going to be, so you get to stack them. And, you know, it's just a great card. You only want to use this card when you're at 10 majority of the time. So, if you have to use it earlier, then you're probably in a bad position anyways. So, yeah, just a card we like to use late game pretty much. Gear 2. This is your ramp, this is your counter, this is everything you want it to be. This is one of the best cards in the deck when it comes to ramp. It's a 1 cost card, main, you may rest 2 Don. So for 3 Don, if your leader is blue, add 1 Don from your Don deck and rest it. So this ramps you, you know, when you're on 3 going first, or even, you know, going second when you're on 4 Don. Also it has a counter. Counter up to one of your leaders gains 3,000 power during this battle. It only protects the leader, but that's good. That's what you want to protect, because you only have 3 life leader, right? So this card's great. Great to open. You know, card we like to see every game. Next, we got the God Thread. I was debating taking God Thread out, but with all these 5 costs running around, God Thread is just too good. You know, your Cavendishes, your Bonnie, all the 5 costs Bonnie plays, just being able to play this card out for 5 Don, ramp and remove like one of their threats early game is just too good. Even late game, like when you want to go for game and they got like 2 blockers up and you got 2 God Threads in hand, I've used 2 God Threads late game to just kill their blockers and to swing out with my board. You know, there's so many options you can do with this card. So I like it. I like it, man. Yeah, being able to move them threats and ramp is, you know, a-okay with me. So yeah, that's the full deck breakdown. Now I'm gonna kind of get into starting hands, vases, you know, certain leaders. So let's get into that, crew. Oh, first before we do that, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of my OP13 list. So let's do that. All right, crew. So this is the OP13 UP Luffy. Now look, if we get this promo Roger card, UP Luffy will be more than likely tier 0. I'm calling it now, crew. I'm calling it now. Literally the only thing we switched out, we got rid of the Gions. We just went up 2 more searchable 2K counters, right? Because we're not playing the 8 cost Luffy anymore. Sorry, just hit the mic. We're not playing the 8 cost Luffy anymore, so we do need more searchable targets. So we went down to Gion, up 2 Sanjis. We swapped the Luffy's out for the Rayleigh. Rayleigh is a great card. If you have any given Don on play, rest one of your opponent's characters with 5 or less. Then at the end of the turn, add 1 Don from your Don that is active. So on 9, you get to go to 10, so you can play Gum Gum Giant out. Great card. Also, having that rush comes in handy, comes in clutch, and being able to rest down to 5 against Emu, we know that's too good. This Goldie Roger right here, broken, man. Buffing your leader plus 2k power to the end of your opponent's end phase. Next end phase is crazy. Like, being able to cheat this out off Sanji, and it's an 8 cost 10k vanilla stat line. Like, card's broken, crew. So if you want to try this list out, I will post this one in the description. If you want to play the one that you're looking at in the video, the OP12 version, that one's in the last video description, so you can go get that deck list there. So yeah, that's the only changes we made, crew. Everything else is the same, and this list is broken. I probably played like 50 games with this list, and I haven't posted a video on it yet. But you know, that's because I don't know when we're gonna get Roger. If y'all want to see the gameplay on this list, I'll post it. But I hardly. It takes a lot for me to lose with this list. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I get to 8 Don, I'm damn near unkillable. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say it. Like, 8K leader, damn near unkillable. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. But yeah, if y'all want to see gameplay on this list, let me know in the comments down below, and I will, you know, do that for y'all. But now let's get to the open the hand section. Alright, crew. So to show you open hand examples, I'm going to actually show you like what I wanted to start with in the game. So here we go. We got a Rayleigh match here. I can't remember if this is in the last video or not. If it is, you know, it doesn't matter because we're pretty much just going over what we want to see in our opening hand. So let's see here. Our opponent's taking a minute to choose the order, of course. We skip through. Okay. Went too far there. Alright. Let's see. Oh, we gotta mute up too, huh? Alright. Yeah, our opponent's just taking forever to start the game. Okay. I seen what we wanted to see. Okay. This was my opening hand originally. I have no ramp. I have no way to deal with early aggression. This is a... Can I get this out the way? Come on, get out the way. Oh, I can't get it out the way. Trying to get this out the way. But anyway, we got Sanji in hand, 9-drop, not relevant right now. We got Mihawk in hand, 9-drop, 2 Gum Gum Giants, and a Nami. This is a terrible hand. Like, terrible hand. Probably like one of the worst hands you can get. Early game for this leader. Like, late game, this hand would be great, but, like, you know, early game, no. So we're going to mulligan that. We mulligan that hand. We mulligan that hand, and look what we get. We get the Uso Hachi, we get the God Thread, we get the Pudding. You know, we get everything we want now. We get the 8-drop Luffy. That's everything we want in this matchup. So, yeah. Cards you're looking for, cards that can remove their early threats. The Uso Hachi helps rest down early threats. The God Thread KOs early threats. And then when you get to 8, that 8-drop Luffy's going to be able to bounce their main card, which is the 4-cost Luffy, back to hand every turn while swinging 8. Or possibly even 9. Yeah, you do have to ditch a card to do it, but once you're on 8, you're going to be drawing 2 cards a turn anyways. So you're just playing the game like a regular leader. Not bad, you know, not bad. We got the Pudding to punish them if they get a big hand size. Like, this is like a perfect hand right here for Rayleigh matchup. But yeah, other cards to look for in this matchup: Carrot, Gion's good. Let's see. The Brulés are good in this matchup. Being able to play it out and just block out of an attack for free is nice. But yeah, anything that's gonna help you get to 8, because that's the main goal. You want to get to 8. And with Rayleigh, they do play a lot. They do play some rushers. They do play, you know, a lot of low cost cards that can attack you for 6. So yeah, this is what's gonna help you in the Rayleigh matchup. I will show the gameplay after we get done with the what we want in our hand section. All right, crew. So yeah, if you have any questions about opening hand for Rayleigh matchup, just look at the principles I said. You want cards that are gonna get rid of bodies while protecting you from, you know, a bunch of attacks. Like God Thread, you know, 8-drop Luffy. Yeah, that's a card that we gotta get to, right? We gotta get the 8. We gotta get the 8 done. That's the goal. But still, it helps out. Brule. Mr. 2's not that relevant, but he can come up. He's still a viable attacker, right? So they play a Luffy out and they got a Boa Hancock rested. For some reason, they didn't use his effect, or just any 1-cost rested. Mr. 2 still can swing into that board, right? So I mean, you still have to remove board. But yeah, we're not going over how to play against the leader right now. We're going over just specifically what you want to see in your hand. Alright, next leader. Alright, crew. So we're going against GP here. Let's look at the hand. We got a Carrot. We got a Mihawk. We got Pudding. We got Red Rock. We got Nami. Now, we don't have any ramp, but we have Carrot. Do you think we keep this hand against GP? We know that their main Their main threats are going to be 5, possibly 7 costs, or 6 costs, possibly 8 costs, or 7 costs, possibly 9 costs, which is the Luffy Taro. We know their main threat, Sanji Pudding, Rush Luffy, also the Luffy Taro. So, that being said, do we keep this hand? We know they like to go up in hand size. You know, we have ways to remove their early bodies they play. Like even on 6, even on 6 we can play out Red Rock. Well, we'll be on 7 or possibly 8 because you know we are going first. Carrot can possibly get us into some ramp. Would you keep this hand, crew? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'm gonna show you if we kept this hand. We keep the hand, crew. So, reason why we kept the hands because we seen Carrot, which can get us to our ramp. We seen ways to remove their board on the way while we're climbing and ramp. We seen a way to punish their hand. So even if we didn't ramp right away, we do have ways to punish them for taking them early hits like GP likes to do. We play the Carrot out going first, right? What do we see? We see ramp, 2K, giant. How do you think we're going to stack this up, crew? Let's see. There we go. We move our giant all the way to the back. We don't want to see that no time soon. We put our ramp card in front. Now the next turn. We already know what we're going to do next turn. We're going to be on 3 Don. We're not going to be able to play Brûlée out, right? Cool. That's fine. We're going to strap 3 on, swing. Then next turn, we're going to play the Brûlée out. That's just how it's going to go. Now, let's get to another leader. Alright, crew, we got Zoro here. Look at our opening hand. We got 2 pieces of ramp. We got a Carrot to find whatever else we need on the top 3. Or possibly bottom deck the top 3. We got a Nami blocker, which is not as relevant in this matchup, but she can help us dig for extra counter, if we need. We got Gion if we're worried about them using events during our turn. And we got some good cards. We don't have a way to remove their board though as they play it. Now, do we keep this hand or not, crew? Let's see. Alright, so we kept the hand. I think. Maybe. No, we're waiting on our opponent. Never mind. Oh yeah, we did keep the hand. Okay. So let me show you what this Carrot's gonna do for us just before we go on. I think we got another leader to show off. Carrot digging. We see a Sanji. That's nice. We're gonna keep a Carrot on top. Just for the 1K counter. We got ways to ramp all the way to 8 now. And we already got Sanji set up for our 9 Don turn just by moving him back 3, right? Because if we ramp twice, that means we're going to be on 8 before we draw into that Sanji. That's how you got to play this. The Carrot's going to set you up like that. We're setting up for turns. We're setting up for our late game turns. Turn 1. I play the Carrot out. I see a Sanji in the open. I see a Sanji in the 3. Move the Sanji all the way to the back. I got double ramp in him. That means I'm gonna be able to ramp to 8 before I draw into that Sanji. That's gonna guarantee my leader effect search if I don't see any other Straw Hat cards. Plus, I know that I'm gonna get Sanji into whatever, if I see another big in that top search for leader. So yeah, this is the power of Carrot. This is why we play Carrot. This card is, just as good as opening ramp. Just as good as opening ramp in my opinion. Of course, it's not ramp, but it can get you set up for all the way to your late game, turn one, which is crazy to think. Digging three deep, like just thinking this shit's crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie. And if I needed to go further, and I didn't like them top three, I can easily bottom deck all of them, and then I'm going from the fourth card on. You know what I'm saying? So great card. Let's see if I got any more opening hands for y'all. All right, crew. So I didn't have any more gameplay on my actual PC for opening hands, but needless to say, cards you want to open with. The ideal hand is double ramp, right? The ideal hand is double ramp. You want to be able to ramp twice going first. Even ramping twice going second is good as well. So that's what we're looking for. Main opening hand, double ramp, two pieces of ramp, or ramp and a carrot. You know, and then far as like matchup specifics, depending on your matchup, that's what else you want to see in your hand. So aggro matchups, we want to see Luffy. Even if we don't see Luffy, we want to see Sanji to play Luffy off of when we do get our leader effect. We want to see God Thread. Cards, decks that like to, stack their hand big, like let's say Yellow Kid for example. We know they get a big hand size. GP Luffy. We want to see Puddin'. We're only playing two of, so the chances of seeing the opening hand is it's kind of low. But we're not worried about it if we don't open it. We just want to see it. So that's cards we're looking for when we start getting to our leader effect. If we don't have it, shit like that. Opening hand, Red Rock. If you're going second and you see Red Rock, and it's a deck that's gonna play out like, let's say GP Luffy. They're not playing out really huge bodies, right? I will use Red Rock on Sanji Puddin' just to get it off board. If I'm on 6 Don, I know I'm going to 8 next turn regardless. I don't need to ramp. I will use Red Rock to get rid of Sanji Puddin'. So like, seeing this in my opening hand against GP, going second, yeah, I'll keep it. But yeah, ideal hands, double ramp or ramp and carrot, and then matchup specifics is, when you want to see your bigs. You don't really care about seeing Mihawk in hand because you'd rather go Sanji into Mihawk. But Mihawk, we do like seeing him in the GP Luffy matchups or Pluffy or any decks where they play sevens and shit like that. Like Hody Jones, green matchup, whatever. We don't mind playing them out from hand if we have to. So yeah. Usohachi, you like to see in your red matchups like Rayleigh, your aggro matchups, that's when you want to see the Usohachis. But yeah, pretty much that's it for the opening hand section. If you have any more questions about opening hands and what you want to see, like I said, it's matchup specific. You have to judge, based off of the match you're playing in. And if you don't have knowledge on the deck you're playing, it's going to be very hard for you to decide what to keep, right? So if you don't have knowledge on the deck you're playing, just look for double ramp. That's what you want to look for. You want to get to your leader effect as quick as possible. So just look for double ramp, and you're gonna be Gucci. All right, like it might be rough because you don't know the matchup, but either way, it's gonna be Gucci. Hold up. Yeah, if you don't know the matchup, crew, you're more than welcome to join the Discord. Link will be in the description. You can join the Discord and figure out, ask us a question down there, or you can drop a comment down below. I usually respond to every comment I can, bro. I usually respond to everybody. Like, if I don't see it, I apologize, crew. But majority of the time, I respond to everybody. So yeah. But if you drop a comment and for some ungodly reason I don't respond to you, just join the Discord and leave a message on there. Speaking of the Discord, we get really active in the Discord. Play a lot of games. We do a lot of webcam games, everything. So if you're interested in any of that and you want to take your game to the next level, man, you definitely got to join the Discord. So yeah, that's enough preaching about the Discord. Now we're gonna go over gameplay and just show you kind of what we do in these matchups and why we did what we did. So yeah, let's get to it, crew. Oh, before we do that, you know, I guess we're a little late, but A Brook dropped that beat. Alright, crew, so we're gonna get to this Rayleigh matchup first. This is gameplay from last video, but I'm gonna kinda like go over my way of thinking and the plays I make and why I do them. I just kinda wanna, give a better explanation of how I'm playing this matchup, crew. Now, as I've said in previous videos, if you do watch my channel, in aggro matchups, you usually like to focus board, right? If you can't swing in the board, then you go into life. But if you can swing in the board, usually you want to take their board away. Like I said, that opening hand was terrible. We swapped to another opening hand, and we're Gucci, right? We're going first, so we know we're gonna get the God threat on, on 5. We got pudding to deal with, whatever we can deal with. Now on 3 here, I wouldn't mind playing out this Usohachi. That when we're on 8, we get to rest down to 4. But we don't have to do that. We can always strap up and swing 8 in depending. Oh, we draw a gear 2, so now my game plan switched. If I wouldn't have drew the gear 2, more than likely I'd have played out Usohachi Swan 6. While Swan 6 play out Usohachi. We drew in the gear 2, we got ramp, so we're gonna pivot. You always want to be able to pivot. You always want to create an idea of what you're gonna do before you see your draw, and then after you see your draw, you should be able to pivot. So we're gonna swing 6 here at our opponent. He counters out. We don't care about that, and then we should gear 2 here, and we're good. Giving them the least amount of information as possible of what we're gonna do. That's why we swing first. Alright, so we're gonna be on 6 Don next turn, and he's swinging 5 at 6. That's a mistake on his part. But I think he was gonna play out the Luffy, so he couldn't use any more Don to invest. But it is what it is. He's gonna swing 8 at us here, and we're gonna probably take it because simple fact is, if we counter out of it right now, and he's got all these bodies on board, which we know we're gonna get rid of one of them, right? Like we already know one of them's gone. Like we got the God threat. We've already premeditated God threat getting rid of this Luffy. In the Rayleigh matchup, you always want to get rid of this Luffy if you can, whether it be bouncing it back to hand or KOing it. So that's just your main focus. Get rid of this Luffy. Right? The Sanji, yes, it's gonna swing, 8 at you every turn if they do the leader effect, but we're not as worried about that. We're worried about this Luffy because this is what gives them, this is what keeps them going. Now, we should God thread here. Yep. God thread, get rid of that Luffy, and then it's probably gonna be 2 on, swing 8 into life. Now, our main focus now. Oh, let me put it back big. Our main focus now. Dang, why does it not want to go down? I hate this media player, bro. I gotta switch to my other one. But anyway, our main focus now, we're gonna be on 8 Don. We probably gonna play out this rush Luffy and keep bouncing back that Luffy to their hand because they had another one, unfortunately. They always got multiple, okay? And the rest of these attacks we're probably gonna counter out of. Like we don't want to take any more hits. In the Rayleigh matchup, they do play unblockable, so you don't want to go down to 0 in that matchup ever if possible, right? So he's swinging 6. He's swinging 6. He's swinging 7. So I give him 2 2Ks, right? Now the reason why I give him 2 2Ks, is because I'm valuing this pudding right now, and right now specifically, I'm valuing this pudding over, the 2K Usohachi. Like, yeah, it's a 2K, right, for a 6K attack. But that makes them think I don't have 1Ks. as well as if he goes up in hand size, I can punish him because it rarely does a lot of searching, and we don't want him to have a custom hand, right? We don't want him to just customize his hand to whatever the hell he wants. So yeah, that's why we're doing that. Now we might pitch that pudding off this Luffy. Like I'm not gonna cap. She might get pitched off this if this, she might get pitched off this Luffy if we want to, not get rid of one of our Sanjis. But I would recommend getting rid of a Sanji for sure. Yeah, get rid of a Sanji, right? Keeping that pudding, bouncing back his Luffy. We're not letting him keep that Luffy on board if we can help it, right? So now quickly you can see our opponent's got 9 cards in hand, and that's what Rayleigh does. That's why we kept the pudding. So you see pudding, hold on to it, man. Hold on to it, cause it could come in clutch. He plays out the Luffy that we bounce back. It's literally just getting bounced again if we can help it, right? Now, the only way I'm getting rid of this pudding probably is if he swings into my Luffy. Let's see what he does here. He's doing leader effect. Probably gonna buff the Nami. Swing 6. I might counter out of that too. Just depends. See what he does here. Got 3 on lead right now. Swinging 6 at us here. I might have to give him the pudding crew. Or I might just have to take and risk it. Yeah. We're going to give him the pudding there because, yeah. And then we're going to take that one. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. We don't want to take 2 hits and risk it. We did get a gear 2, which would have helped us. But we don't know what's in our life, right? We're not playing Lin Lin. So here, we see a bunch of 2Ks, which we're gonna grab, right? We're gonna stack the Nami. That way we can play the Nami off of the Sanji. This is another play I like to do a lot, especially in aggro matchups. Playing Nami off of Sanji is not a terrible play at all because you're establishing a blocker. You're still leaving one Don open for Gum Gum Giant, and you're getting the stack bricks to the bottom if you need to. Which we didn't have any bricks in that list, so that's not a terrible thing. See what he does here. We're swinging 6 into 2. Surely he's not gonna try to counter out of that, right? All right. Play Nami into Sanji. I think we should just bottom deck this Bon Clay and this Brulee. Oh, we put him onto the top. I guess we don't care. We're gonna get rid of a gear 2 here. Bouncing back his Luffy, swinging 9. We value getting rid of the gear 2 because we had enough 2Ks in hand already. So it's like I'm not gonna keep the gear 2 when I got Gum Gum Giant and 3 2Ks. Now he's playing Kid and Killer out. So now he's turning on his rush mode, which is a great thing that we played the Nami out, because now we got a blocker for him potentially. Let's see what he does here. He swings 8. Now, there's a couple things we can do here. We can bait him to go all in. See what he does. Okay, he mold guns our Nami off the board and swings 7. Well, I got bad news for you. We got another 2K, buddy. So now we're gonna look at the top of our deck. We see a Nami. It's the only card we can search. Probably search the Nami. Yeah. Place on top. We're gonna draw into the Mihawk. Probably just Mihawk this kid off board, so he doesn't get it back to hand. Leave one open, Don. I think we'll still be Gucci. Swing 8 into him. Now we're not using our Rush Luffy's effect this turn because we plan on playing the Mihawk anyways, and we don't want to get rid of a counter out of hand. So we're gonna swing 9 here. Cool, cool, nice. Now we're just gonna play Mihawk out, bottom deck is Kid, and let's go. See what our opponent wants to do here. He plays a Rush Zoro. That's nice. That's nice. Now, we get rid of that because even if he plays another Rusher right here, pause. Okay. Now in this situation, crew, would you do the Gum Gum Giant here, or would you get rid of that Nami? Now you see what I did. I got rid of the Nami, and now I'm gonna tell you why I got rid of the Nami. So, bro, I hate this. I'm gonna have to switch to my other one after this, crew. I'm sorry, but anyway. So if he plays another rusher, right, that's gonna cost him 3 9. He can't use his leader effect with these rushers. Or if he plays a kid and killer, another kid and killer, it's gonna cost him 4 9. He can swing 7 with that, right? Then the most he can do, I take that hit. I get the card. Now my Gum Gum Giant's active. The most he can swing is like 7 or 8, I think it is, or maybe even 9. Gum Gum Giant's gonna get us out of all that. So yeah, let's watch how it plays out. He plays a kid and killer. Okay, cool. He swings 7. We take. Nice. Now what is he gonna swing? He plays a shock Aiku, whatever the hell it is. Swinging 6 here. So we ain't even got to use the Gum Gum Giant. And that's game. Like, there's no way he's getting out of there, right? Like, he's got 3 cards in hand. We got, too much damage coming in at him. But yeah, that's basically how we play the Rayleigh matchup. That's how your ideal Rayleigh matchup will go. Far as like, intricate plays, whether to get rid of counter, you have to, that just comes with testing and knowledge, right? Like, when he played this Zoro out, let's go back. When he played the Zoro out right here, okay, that's 3 Don right there. He's got 7 Don left, right? Gum Gum Giant alone is gonna get me out of 4 Don worth of attack on any of his characters, right? So that means if he plays another 3, I can get out of a 9. I mean, I can't get out of the 6 or whatever, but But not only does he have to play the Zoro out, he has to invest a Don to even swing because we're a 6K lead. So now he has to put a Don on. So now instead of 3 Don, his Zoro's costing 4 Don. So that means he has 6 Don left. Gum Gum Giant's 4 Don worth of counter. So that's how we look at it. He's swinging 6. We give him the counter. We know that if he plays any other Zoros, he has to use 4 Don. Which means he's only gonna have 2 Don left for his leader. Like, I don't know what the events do in Rayleigh because I haven't like read all of them, So if he has an event that can buff him, then we might be screwed if it can buff him over 10K. But either way, we'll take our chances at that point. But yeah, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. At the end of the day, if you're still struggling with the Rayleigh matchup, let us know in the comments down below. And if you're not struggling in the Rayleigh matchup, help the people who are struggling down below, man. Let's get the community rolling on this. Let's get to the next game, crew. All right, crew. So I'm gonna show you this GP Luffy matchup. I can't remember if it's on the last video or not, but it doesn't matter because I'm giving you a full breakdown. So here we go. We see Carrot. We play Carrot. I already told you why I kept the opening hand in the previous section. If you skipped it, then hey, maybe you don't know, but look at the previous section if you want to know why we kept this opening hand. We set up our deck the way we want to see it, and we're moving on from there. The main card you want to take off GP Luffy's board. Early game, mid game is the Sanji Puddings. You take off the Sanji Puddings, they don't benefit from the leader effect like they would. So always try to remove Sanji Pudding when you see it, if you can. If you can't, it is what it is. You know, try to swing into it, whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, you want to get rid of Sanji Pudding. Um, you also do like taking second away from GP, but unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. So it is what it is. We don't mind going first neither. So he plays out Zoro Joro here. The thing about him going second, playing out Zoro Joro, he can't swing at us unless he uses leader effect. We're 6K base, so we don't ever mind that play. We already got the carrot set up. We already got the brulee for the next turn. So we could potentially get out of the next 2 attacks with just those 2 cards alone, right? He's swinging 5 at us here. We're not gonna fall for that. We're not bots. All right, cool. So here we're gonna put 1 on, swing 7. Now, crew, in this situation, he's got 6, 7, 8. He's got 8 cards in hand. If he takes this, he's gonna have 9 cards in hand. So I have that knowledge. He's gonna have 9 cards in hand. He just did a search with Zoro Joro. I can't remember what he's seen with Zoro Joro 'cause I missed it. But you know, either way, he got a search off with Zoro Joro. He's gonna have 9 cards in hand if he takes this. If he takes this, what would you do, crew? Would you still play out your brulee, carry on, or would you punish him with this pudding and get rid of half his fucking cards in his hand? Let's see what we do. Okay, he took that. He's got 9 cards in hand. I'm gonna pivot and destroy his hand immediately. Crew. Now look, it's plays like this that makes the captain different. Okay, plays like this. A normal person is gonna just play out brulee, stick to their game plan, you know, maneuver on, and let this man have 20 cards in hand. But me, if he took that hit, I'm gonna put in him. If he wouldn't have took that hit, I would have played brulee out and kept it moving. But since he took that hit, we had to punish him. And it's plays like that you gotta make if you want to go to the next level, crew. So yeah, we putting him here. You know, you gotta be able to pivot, man. Being able to pivot is what's gonna make the difference between you playing great and you playing okay, right? And it's okay to play okay. You know, you're not always gonna play great, and that's cool too. But you gotta know how to pivot at the end of the day. He plays a stage out here. That's nice. If he swings 6 at us with Zoro Joro, we're more than likely gonna go ahead and use carrot. If he plays Sanji Pudding here, then we're already debating next turn. We're probably gonna go ahead and just red rocket off the board and swing heavy into his Zoro Joro and try to just keep him at 0 cards on board. We've already put in him. We've already devastated his hand, right? Well, look, he don't even have a Sanji Pudding now, so you know he did get one off the Nami search, which is very fortunate for him. But he can't even really use his leader effect here, right? And not being able to use their leader effect safely is really hurt. It's really devastating to GP. That's why that pudding made all the difference there. Because there was a high chance out of those 9 cards he had a Sanji Pudding. Like, let's be realistic here. He would have got to play Sanji Pudding out this turn, use leader effect, get a dime back. He would have been able to swing bigger with his Zoro. He would have been able to swing bigger with his leader. Now he's swinging 6 at us here. Now we can just use the carrot effect and get out of it for free. We like it. That's why we love carrot. Let's see what he does here. And he passes with 3 down open. Now that's letting me know that he's worried about an attack. He probably doesn't have much counter now, especially after we hit him with that pudding. So what are we gonna do here, crew? What would you do here? What's your next line of play? Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna put 1 Don on pudding. Now that we've seen that, he's leaving 3 Don open. 1 Don on pudding, swing 5 into 5. See what he does. Crew. He had to give us a zero cost event for that pudding attack. That pudding has gotten 6 cards out of our opponent's hand, bro, by herself. This is why pudding is devastating right now. What are we gonna do next, crew? He gave us 3K counter to save that, right? Now we're gonna swing 2K counter over his Zoro. So if he wants to keep a valid body on board, he's gonna have to give us something better than that zero cost. And he gives us a Gum Gum Giant, crew. And some people can say, hey, that's a play mistake, hey, that's crazy. But you have to look at the board state here. I'm getting close to my 8-9 turn. He has to keep his bodies on board at this point. Like, if he doesn't, he's not going to be able to attack me with anything. So he gives the Gum Gum Giant here to save the body. You know, I don't think that's a misplay at all. Like, sometimes, I mean, I did hit him with a pudding, crew. You have to understand that. I put in this man. He got a zero cost event, a bunch of bricks, and a Gum Gum Giant. That's literally all he could do. So, you know, it's either that or he loses his whole board. Now, some people would have said, yeah, he should have just took that hit and lost his board. I mean, that's up for debate, man. Oh yeah, just, you know, disregard the little Discord click there. All right, so we know he's got a Sanji Pudding. We know that's probably gonna be the next card he plays. You know, that's fine, fine and dandy. Now I use leader effect here more than likely. But we already got a way to get rid of Sanji Pudding, right? We're going to 9-9. If he swings, we're gonna be at 8-9, so we're getting leader effect. And we can just play Mihawk out. So let's see what he does here. If he swings, we are going to be at 8-9. So playing Brule in this situation, you see, we played her later, but we're still benefiting from her at the end of the day, right? Because now if he swings, we're going to be at 8, leader effects active, and it's going to get ugly for him from there. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's going to swing 6. Swing 6, we just blocked the Brule, and now our leader effects, you know, in the game. We know he doesn't have counter, so he's probably going to have to attack this pudding. Like, that's just, now that he knows I'm going to put a Don on it and swing with it, you know, he just wants to get it off the board. That pudding's done disgusted this man, right? He's got to get rid of it. Now, leader effect. Okay, there's a trick to leader effect as well. What I try to do whenever I use my leader effect is I always want to draw like counter. I don't ever want to search the Gum Gum Giant because I don't want them to know that I have it. Giving your opponent less hand knowledge as possible. Like, okay, in this situation, I'm more than likely just going to grab the 2K. I'm going to stack the Giant all the way to the top, first card, because that's the card we're going to draw for turn. And then whatever my other plays are, that's how I'm going to stack the rest. So always try to avoid grabbing the Giant unless you have to, or the Gear 2. Giving them least amount of hand knowledge as possible. That's how we play. That's how we play UP Luffy. So yeah, let's get it. Grab the 2K. Watch how we do. We start placing on top. This situation here, we didn't stack the Giant to the top because we already got a Giant in hand, right? And we know if we play a 9-drop here for some reason or whatever, if we play a 9-drop here, we're not going to be able to play 2 Giants. We're not going to want to play 2 Giants anyway, and with all the 2Ks we got and what he's got on board, we're not worried about him killing us anytime soon, right? So we just stack the 2K to the top. So here it's probably going to be swing 6 at 6, see what he wants to do. We know he's low on counter. Then we're going to play the Mihawk, establish a big body, get rid of his Sanji Pudding, you know. Even if he used leader effect on it, even if he used the Going Mary on the Sanji Pudding, it still was gone. Mihawk hits a 7 or less. That's why this card is so good right now, especially into this matchup. So now we got one open Dawn. We got Red Rock if we need it ever. And you know we're set up. We know our leader effect's got a guaranteed search next turn. We're good. We're Gucci. He doesn't have really any attackers at all. We've literally controlled this entire game, and that's what you want to do. You only want to allow your opponent to have what you want them to have, right? That's the idea of this deck. He drew in the Going Merry. Must not have seen nothing else good into it. See what he does here. Gotta have something to play, right? Plays the Going Merry. He's drawing. He's looking for something to play. He's looking for a Sanji Pudding, probably. And once you take Sanji Pudding out of the equation, GP is just gonna struggle in that matchup against you. Play the Frankie out, okay. Guess it's gonna use leader effect here. I mean, you kind of have to, right? Kind of have to use leader effect here. Puts one Don on. He's not using leader effect. It doesn't look like. Doesn't look like he's gonna use leader effect. I guess he's swinging 6 at us here. We can get out of that. We take it. I mean, we're on 3 life. We don't care about taking that. 27. We'll give him a 2K. Cool. All right. Look at our top 5. Look what we got. Sanji and the Mihawk. So here we'll probably search the Nami. We don't care about the Gum Gum Giant, like I said, because we're playing a 9 cost. We already got a Gum Gum Giant in hand. There's no need to have 2 in hand. So here we're going to swing 6 into 5, see what he wants to do here. If he blocks this one, then I'll probably just go 9 into a Zoro, just for the hell of it. Then again, I could just go 9 into life, because we're going to get rid of the Zoro regardless because of Mihawk. Let's see what he does here. 9 into 5, he's probably going to block this one for sure. Okay, he takes it. He didn't block it. I don't know why he didn't block that, but I guess. Now we're going to play Sanji and the Mihawk, getting rid of his other viable attacker here. Now let me tell you the situation our opponent's in right now, crew. If you haven't noticed, this man has not been able to keep anything relevant on board. And that's how you want to play against GP. If you can see your removal cards efficiently at efficient times and you use them efficiently, use your puddings efficiently, you can shut down their whole game plan. Now I guarantee you, if I wouldn't have played that pudding out and I would have played Brulee that turn like I planned to originally, and I would have played pudding that turn, or not pudding but Brulee that turn, we would be in a whole different scenario right now. Like, we still would be removing bodies, like, don't get me wrong, but we'd have a whole lot more pressure on our back. I can promise you that. But since we pivoted, we played efficiently. We seen he had 9 cards in hand. He took that life very aggressively. Pudding punishes. I'm really surprised that card's not banned, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that card's really good. So he plays out a Zoro Joro here. He gets into a Sanji Pudding, but there's literally nothing he can do, right, crew? There's no amount of blockers he can play. There's no amount of Don he can leave up that's gonna save him from the onslaught that's about to come. And even if it does save him from the onslaught, like, we literally can just block her up and just chill. Like, we got two Namis in hand. We got infinite counter, it seems like. He plays out the Sanji Pudding anyways. It doesn't really matter. I guess he can use leader effect now, and stand 2 Don is active. 3 Don is active. Sit on 3 Gum Gum Giants and a blocker and pray. That really gonna save you though. And what's the chances of him having 3 Gum Gum Giants? Let's be realistic here. He might. He might, crew. He might. Who knows? Pretty sure our opponent's like debating his life right now and just seeing that nothing's gonna go good in this moment. See what he does. Taking a little bit of time. I understand. I understand. This is really toxic. Sorry, my guy. I'm sorry. But yeah, hopefully, if you're struggling with this deck after this video, you'll have a better understanding. Kind of a sneak peek into the mind of the captain and how I play and how I make decisions. So he plays another blocker out. Now he has no Don standing. 2 blockers. That's definitely not good for him here. I guess we're just gonna stack this rush Luffy to the top, cause why not? That allows us to leave 2 Don standing, play out rush Luffy, swing 8, ditch a card, bounce back one of his blockers. Now he only has 1 blocker. And we could put a Don on our leader for a 7k attack. He gives us the blocker for the 8k. We know he's cooked now. There's nothing that can save your life. So by the time he was able to set up his board, crew, he was already finished. And that's how you want to play this. Like, I mean, you're not gonna see everything you need every game, right? But that's where the carrots come in. That's where your leader effect comes in. You just gotta make it to leader effect. You make it to leader effect, more than likely you're gonna see what you need. More than likely you're gonna see what you need. And you also gotta be able to pivot. So we swing 9, and then there's gonna be another 9, and this GG's 2 Don open. We know we're drawn into a Gum Gum Giant next after the Gum Gum Giant. Infinite 2Ks in hand. There's no way he's killing us, right? Yeah, let's get on to the next game, crew. Alright, crew, so I gotta cut the video short here. I figured out what was wrong with my stuff freezing. I recently upgraded to Windows 11, and the media player they gave me, if I go full screen and I don't press anything, it actually freezes my gameplay. So unfortunately, I gotta cut the video short here. But hey, man, I hope y'all enjoyed, what I did get to show you. I tried to fix the recording best as possible because I didn't catch it till after the recording, unfortunately. So hopefully y'all still enjoyed it, man, and I really appreciate y'all for joining us, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one, man. Peace.